Hello guys, so this is my way of making pâté chinois, a classic Canadian comfort food. I'm going to start with boiling potatoes with some salt, and then I'm going to add butter and olive oil and saute some red onion. It's just one diced red onion, and I'm going to let them cook down very, very well. And then in another pan, I have some olive oil and butter as well, and some frozen corn. I'm making homemade cream corn. I've never done this before. Now I'm going to add to the onions about 500 grams of ground beef mince. I'm going to season it with 7 spice, Worcestershire sauce, black pepper, some onion, and some garlic powder as well. And I'm also going to add some flour, maybe a tablespoon or so. This will thicken up and make like a kind of gravy. And I'm going to add one beef stock cube to that and some water, maybe 3/4 of a cup or so. And just stir that around really well and let that cook down. The liquid will cook down. I'm going to add some heavy cream to the corn and some salt and pepper, as well as a couple tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. It will just help everything thicken up a bit, and I'll let that cook down a bit until that thickens up a little bit as well. Alright, and there you have it. The corn is finished. Doesn't that look delicious and creamy? Yum. The meat mixture is pretty much done. I'm just going to add a splash of ketchup and a little bit of tomato paste, and here it is. It's thickened up quite nicely. I'm actually really impressed. And here are the mashed potatoes, fluffy with a splash of cream, butter, and a little bit of salt. Now we layer a casserole with the meat mixture first, then we layer on the cream corn, and then last we have the potatoes on top. Now I'm adding some shredded mozzarella cheese. The traditional recipe doesn't call for cheese, but we're going to be pâté chinois trendsetters here. And it's out of the oven, nice and bubbly. The cheese is melted. This looks delicious, so let's plate this up. Let's go. Hello guys, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. Let me just fix my tablecloth, plastic cloth here. So I'm so excited to eat this with you guys. Julia is too, she's up here. This is a staple in French Canadian cuisine. It's called pâté chinois, which translates to Chinese pie. So you know how you have, it's kind of like the French Canadian take on shepherd's pie or cottage pie. I usually just call it shepherd's pie, but yeah, the French is pâté chinois. All right, so I have a Diet Cola. The brand is Alsi, Saudi Arabia. So it's a Saudi brand. And I have some ketchup. I put ketchup on mine. In my opinion, that's the true Canadian way. If you don't, that's fine, but I do. So, bismillah. And I have some Brussels sprouts in the air fryer with a bit of butter, salt, and pepper, and some buttered bread. You have to have white bread with butter with these. Let's try these Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. They're sweet. And they're so good. I've been seriously craving this for so long. Mix it all around. It's cheesy. Put that mozzarella on there. Now, I just added the cheese, but the traditional recipe, apparently there's like an author who wrote a story about pâté chinois and how it's like mysterious. I know, same shirt, different video. I'm not I'm not putting 2 outfits on for the same day. I won't do. Unless I don't want you to think it's the same day. Anyway, hot. Pâté chinois or shepherd's pie is like scalding hot for like an hour after it comes out. That really takes me back to growing up. Because I have a lot of newcomers. So I grew up I'm Canadian, born and raised, and I was born in a small town called Cornwall, which is close to Ottawa in Quebec. It's mostly bilingual, French and English. So because of Quebec, which is a French province, we have a lot of French food influence. And there are theories about where the name pâté chinois comes from. Some think it's like when they were building the Canadian Railway, there were migrant Chinese workers, and they were mostly fed potatoes, like meat and corn. But then it's also like apparently but some also say that they ate soybeans and rice. So who knows? There's like a few theories. But I was introduced to pâté chinois from growing up. My grandmother my mom made it. And the funny thing is, she made it exactly like this, but she used canned cream corn. A can of cream corn, which I love, and a can of niblets. And growing up, I was made fun of a lot in school. Like I was bullied for my weight, also for being on welfare. I was called welfare girl in elementary school sometimes. Or like I'd get made fun of. Like my mom did the best she could, but she was like a single mom, right? And we didn't have a lot of money. She was going through college, and she was very young also. Like they didn't let her finish high school because she was pregnant, so she had to like finish it later. I don't remember how she finished it, but anyway, she ended up going to college. But so we didn't have a lot of money, so this was shepherd's pie, or pâté chinois, was considered like a poor man's meal, you know, ground beef being the cheaper, not now maybe, but back then, the cheaper type of beef. Oh my gosh, too much cheese maybe. And oh, never mind. So I never liked it growing up because I always thought like, ugh, I don't want this poor man's meal. Now I love it. I love it. I didn't also really like the taste growing up either. Now I love it. But yeah, I remember like always wanting, like when Tommy Hilfiger shirts were popular, we went to a flea market. It was a flea market in St. Polycarp. Anyone from around that area will know. And they had knockoff Tommy Hilfiger, but they were like gaudy and weird. And my mom was like, they'll never know. They'll never know. They knew. I got made fun of so bad. It was like a shiny material, like a turquoise, and it said Tommy, but I think there was like a spelling error in the word Hilfiger. So I got made fun of by like a group of guys the whole day. Fruit fly. This wasn't, the Tommy Hilfiger was in high school. Like when I first started going to high school, like grade 8, maybe it was grade 8 or grade 9. I'm pretty sure. Being made fun of for being poor was like in elementary school. Now, I look back and I'm proud of that poor man's meal or welfare meal, because okay, truth, I was rich in a lot of ways I didn't realize. I had a lot of love in my life from my family. My mom, it was like me and her against the world, man. And I turned out to like this meal very much. So if you ever feel bad because you think what you're eating is a poor man's meal, don't. Food is food. You know, mashallah, every food is amazing. Actually, I learned this recently. It makes sense now. I'm surprised I didn't realize it earlier, but in Islam, it's so haram to like diss food. One, because so many people are starving. Two, food's a blessing. Depends what kind, you know, as long as you don't let it harm you, but which I know I have. This is so good. Another poor man's meal, they call them this. I like his beans and wieners with toast. Kraft dinner and wieners. Macaroni and cheese. Macaroni and bees. There's a follower with that with that handle. So I did a menu today. I had a very productive day. I was just so sick of like ordering out. I'm like, I need to eat a home cooked meal. And I love comfort food. But yeah, every time, you know, I'd be off to school, I would ask my mom, what are we having for dinner tonight after school? We're having shepherd's pie. And I feel so bad ever going like, oh, what? This cola is pretty good. I can't taste the difference. It has sucralose, not aspartame. It has acesulfame potassium. I don't know what that is. Is that aspartame? Sounds like aspartame. Acesulfame. Oh well. Whatever. Everything is gonna freaking kill us someday. I don't know. Like, I've seen 4 different videos back to back on whether eggs are good for you or not. So confusing. Yum. I love Brussels sprouts. They're one of my favorite vegetables. That and broccoli. I like raw broccoli too, but it's all the chewing, my jaw gets tired after. Anyway, I guess that's it. I just wanted to just share this dinner with you, but it brings me back. It brings me back for sure. And it brings me back to I remember how I despised this meal. And now it's something I love and cherish. I love it. You know. Yeah, I told my mom, I'm like, I'm making pâté chinois. She's like, wow, you used to hate that growing up. I said, I know. But anyway. Anyways, guys, I guess that's it. Thanks for having dinner with me. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope that you have something delicious for dinner today. Thank you for watching me. It means a lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.